How rigid are you? How rigid am I? It's a great question. Very important, I would say, and very relevant to me right now. How rigid? Rigid means stuck in your ways. How unflexible. How insistent am I that the way that I process stuff is the only way. That's how I see it. And man, being rigid is almost like a root attribute that causes a lot of issues, because so many times, like, the world is changing, obviously, around me, around us, and if we're stuck, we start being basically inappropriate, ineffective. And I think sometimes it's easy to see this in older people who don't seem to, like, move with the times, respond to, like, change. In, younger people, they're different. They're the ones that are always new and, show us older people what the future kind of looks like a little bit. But there are for sure people who just can't move along with that, development. We see it there pretty easily, but I'm talking about even just, like, in my life, in my just, like, surroundings, my right now. Right now, I have an idea of how this should be going, what I need the environment to be like to make a video, for instance. Preconceived notions of how this should go. Is it going that way? No. I don't control the universe, so I have 2 small children. One of them is sick and got up really early, so is awake. I'm not alone. Plus, there's always 2 cats hunting mice. I don't control all this stuff. So what is my grade of being able to go along with the way that things actually are, instead of the way that they are in my head? We're supposed to be in my head. Like, I got visions of how all this stuff is supposed to go. And of course we all do that. This is how this is gonna go. This is how this is supposed to be. This is how this day is gonna go. Here's the structure. And then the world, God, the universe, throws us curveballs. Throws us whatever the heck it wants to. Constantly. And, can we go with it? Can we go with the flow? Can we move with the stuff? Can we take the punches? Or do we, like, fight it at every turn? I'm definitely used to fighting it at every turn. This is, again, related to judgment. It seems like lots of things are related to judgment. If things don't go the way that they're supposed to, meaning the way I thought they would, they're judged as bad, negative, shouldn't be happening. And if they sort of go the way I thought, then I'd, be like, well, that went well. Of course, that's ridiculous. I mean, it is just ridiculous. Because we don't know. We're not in a position to know, really, what's good. Basically, what's good for us. There's all kinds of things that happen constantly that we did not intend that end up being good. I mean, one little example. I ordered, we have 2 kitties. I ordered some cat litter, right? And it turned out they didn't have that kind. And instead, they sent me the lightweight version. At first it came, I was pissed. I was saying, I want the litter that I always get. The one that I want and the one that works. The one I've been using. Like, what is this? Is it only halfway full? Like, it's lightweight. I was like, what is... And then I saw it's lightweight litter. I'm like, what the heck is this? And now I can say, 2 weeks later, this litter is amazing. It's way better. It's a joy to clean out the kitty litter box because it's so much lighter and clumps so well. You know what I'm saying? This is an example. I didn't make that happen. That happened to me. And my initial reaction was, this sucks. This is not what I want. And now, a little bit of time later, I'm like, man, amazing. And I gotta admit, I didn't do it. I didn't make that change. So often we are like kicking and screaming, dragged into this change or that change. Because, especially if you're a creature of habit like I am, I just like things to go like the same nice way that I know sort of works, that I can manage. I don't just like volunteer, let's do something different most of the time. Kicking and screaming into some kind of new situation or new way of doing things. So you hear sometimes in like spiritual talk also that, how good are you at not doing what you usually do? So like your habits or your practice even, can you drop that? Can you do without that? Do you need your yoga practice every other day or once a week or whatever? Or can you actually not go also? Do you need to meditate every day? Or can you also not do that and just have a coffee? See how that feels? Go for a walk. Go hang out with somebody. Do you have to, at the end of every day, sit in front of the TV and watch your favorite show? Or can you do something else? Can you just sit there? Can you stretch it out? Have some tea? Read a book? Do something else, something different. How stuck are you in your ways? Sometimes there's such like aliveness so, in doing something else. Do something new. Try a different way. There's millions of people doing it a different way all the time. Do you need your pancakes a certain way? Can you only have them with butter and maple syrup? Or can you also try it with peanut butter and banana one time? Do you always order the same thing at the restaurant? Do you always go to bed at the same time? Do you always wake up at the same time? I mean, I'm into like good habits, for sure. Like, you need to go to the gym every day. Cool, that's healthy, that's great. But can you like do without it? I guess I would ask, because sometimes that space that's left when we don't do what we usually do, that's where some magic happens. That's where you're like, oh damn, I am like alive. I don't always know how everything's going to go. There is such a thing as a new situation. Yeah, anyways, how rigid are we being? And I mean, this leads to, I'm sure, I'll talk about in some other video, how easily can we change and make life changes? This is for sure related. And if you can't change, you're screwed. Large scale, screwed. Because you're not going to be in line with reality, which is always shifting, basically. So it's going to drive you insane. In any case, just a little talk about being rigid while trying to practice not being rigid myself. Welcome some chaos. In any case, wishing you well. Thank you for being here.